Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, October 21st, and I'm here with a healthy weight loss video, but it's also more about just weight loss, healthy journey. I need to figure out how to describe it better because it's not just about weight loss. For me, it's about much more than that, and I will talk about some of that later. So this week, what might be now? So this week has been a very tough week. Last week, if you remember, I gained 1.5 pounds and I said I was fine with it, moving on, etc. Well, I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff happening this week and I've learned a lot about myself. So Friday, after a series of events, I was trying to stay on track. I thought I was doing really well, but then after dinner, I made my own pizza for dinner. It was a 2-point tortilla wrap, made the pizza on there. The family got the homemade pizza. Thought I was fine. I was not fine. I just found myself eating and thinking I was hungry and just constantly eating. If I look at this, I had nuts, I had pumpkin cake, I had ice cream, I had muffins. I realized it was really bad when I was standing in front of the freezer and I saw the blueberry muffins that I had frozen. And one blueberry muffin is probably about 15 points. And I decided, you know what? I want a muffin. So I took it out, I defrosted it, and well, I didn't defrost it. That was the problem. I let it sit for a little bit and then ate it partially frozen. And I said, there's something seriously wrong with me. I need to shut down. And I went to bed. I went to bed. That was it. I didn't track. I had a friend who reminded me that it would be good to track, and I was just in that mindset. Nope, not doing it. I could care less right now, and I just went straight to bed. And when I went to bed, I knew that I was either self-sabotaging, I was making things worse, and even though I didn't care, I knew that I needed to care. And I'm kind of ashamed to say that that happened on Friday. I hate that I have to admit that, but this is about growth. This is about changing my mindset and learning more about myself and moving forward. So I went to bed and I said, okay, I need to have a plan for tomorrow. So I pretty much planned up a little bit in my head what I was going to do the next day. We were going out for breakfast and I was going to be fine with that. And so I just went to bed. And then Saturday morning I got up and we went out to breakfast and I allowed myself to have hash browns. But what I did was I split it in half and moved half of it to a plate. I told them no toast. I had chicken apple sausage and 2 eggs. And that was it. And I was fine with it. I wanted to prove to myself that I could leave the other half of that hash brown. And I did. I admit I glanced at it a couple of times, but I did not eat it. I want to say the temptation was there slightly, but thankfully I was strong enough to just say, no, I can do that. So I did that. I don't remember really what I had for lunch. I'm sure it's written down somewhere. It's not there. That was Saturday. And actually, that night we had leftover bison chili. Yeah. Oh, I just had some fruit. Yeah, fruit and cauliflower crackers with hummus that day. So I did pretty good that day. And then Sunday, um, I was doing okay. I found bacon that was like 1 point per slice. And I had some of that, and I had my food, my typical breakfast. Lunch, thought I was okay. I actually feel like I should probably look at what lunch was really quick. Um, oh yeah, I had some leftover lunch meat stuff. So lunch was like 10 points in total. Had it in a wrap. Still doing okay. I thought I was okay mentally. That night, my husband cooked, and he made Thai curry. We love Thai curry. I thought I was going to be fine because when I was doing Weight Watchers years ago, I had already put his recipe in my app. But I guess he changed the coconut milk since then. So I decided to check and see what it was because he had to make for 6 people instead of the usual 4. And so I looked it up, and when I ate it, I ate what he gave me in the bowl, but the rice, I only took a third of that and put it into my bowl. So I left the rest of the rice. I did not eat all the rice. I thought I was doing good. Calculated it all up later, and that curry was 25 points per serving, just for the curry. The rice I had was 2 points. I was so upset. I was so upset because I wanted a snack that night. And my points are 30 a day. 25, I had 44 points that day. I know we can have weeklies and stuff, but I knew I had messed up on Friday, and I was so mad at myself that I trusted that. Moved on. Monday became the worst day for my emotions. I cannot share why, but it was just one thing after another. And I don't remember what I ate, but I decided to go to Celebrate Recovery, which I think I told you guys about that last week. I had met a lady, and she was a guest speaker for our ladies group, and we were talking about Celebrate Recovery, and I decided to give it a try. I will admit I almost backed out. I was emotionally in a very bad state. I got there. I made family dinner for the family. I ate mine really quick. I ate something different from the rest. What did I eat? Oh, we had egg roll in a bowl. No, I had some egg roll in a bowl. I just didn't have the rice. And went to the meeting. And I don't really do well with a group of people. So I had seen the lady, her name was Kat. I had seen her when I walked in, but she was talking to some people, so I didn't bother her. And I kind of just walked up to a table to look at they had a paper for the lesson. Yeah, a little lesson thing. So I was looking at that, and somebody came up to me and asked me if it was my first time. And she started chatting with me for a little bit, and she invited me to sit with her. So we went into the main area, which I'm guessing is the church sanctuary, and that's what it looks like. We sang some praise songs, had some announcements. They did some, what do they call it? The 8 principles. So you can look up more information about that. And they switch off. So one week they'll do a lesson study, and then the next week it will be a testimony. This week was a lesson study. So we did that, and then they break off into separate groups. So I was a part of a small women's group. We go into another room, and everybody had about 5-6 minutes to share. For our group, we only had about 3 minutes to share because it was a larger group. So I noticed everybody was sharing. And before the meeting, I had looked up some of the issues that I felt I was having a problem with. I had looked it up, and there was one that I really didn't think was me. I picked out adult child of family dysfunction and food issues. And I was looking at codependency. Now, in my mind, codependency I thought meant when you had to live with a significant other, no matter who that person was. So in other words, if you were in an abusive relationship, you depended on that person, and even though it was harmful for you. And that's more what I thought codependency was. I was shocked to discover that wasn't. So I was thinking, when I go to this meeting, what am I supposed to focus on? I've got 3 things. I wasn't thinking that everybody has more than one. And they definitely shared that. They would start out with what they were struggling with, and some of them even talked about what they were working on now. So I was very impressed by that. And then they had sharing moments. And when it came my turn, I had already decided that I was going to talk, but my fear was that I was going to cry. because I kept tearing up in the worship center at the sanctuary. I kept tearing up every time I was alone. So it was just that bad of a day. And I did end up sharing, and I cried quite a bit, and I had to stop before I could finish everything I wanted to say because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it out. And after that group is specifically to share and to just listen. So we left, and as I was leaving to go into the lobby again, I noticed donuts and pastries all on a table. And I instantly was like, no. And I just walked straight to the bathroom. And I met someone in the restroom who started chatting with me. She was also in the small group. So she was chatting with me and encouraging me, and it was just very nice. Everybody there was super nice. There was another lady who also started talking to me, and then I was talking to the one who invited me there. So I definitely think I'll be going back. I definitely plan on it. I think it would be helpful to me. And I think they split up and do separate biblical studies on a different night of the week. But if I heard correctly, the women's group is not set up yet. So I did put myself on the email for that. So yeah, that went very well. I just wish I wasn't so emotional because that's all I did was cry. But I'm glad that I went. And I did feel better the next day. Oh, excuse me. I really want to work on, I know that I have food issues, but I know there's other things that led me there. There are things that put me in this place. And yes, I know a lot of it is my childhood. Everybody has some type of dysfunction, I think, in their lifetime. But I really did not think about codependency. I'm going to read some of this. This date. Assume responsibility for other people's feelings and behaviors. Yes. Feeling guilty about other people's feelings and behaviors. Yes. I instantly want to fix it. I instantly want to do something to make them feel better. It's not a good thing. Having difficulty identifying what you're feeling. Yes. Worry about how others may respond to your feelings, opinions, and behavior. Yes. I will keep my mouth shut. I worry all the time about the things that I say and how it affects somebody else. Have difficulty making decisions. Everybody knows that's a firm yes. Afraid of being hurt or rejected by others. Yes. Minimize, alter, or deny how you feel. Yes. I have a habit of saying, I'm okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Are very sensitive to how others are feeling and feel the same. Yes. Afraid to express different opinions or feelings. It depends. If it's about raising children, there are certain topics that I will not back down on if somebody specifically asks me. If I'm in a crowd where people of differing opinions are very strong about theirs, I will just keep my mouth shut. I will not change my opinions based on theirs. Value other opinions and feelings more than your own? Pretty much. Put other people's needs and desires before your own? Yes. All the time. All the time. Embarrassed to receive recognition or praise or gifts? I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know how I'm supposed to act. Somebody says, I like your hair, which I get all the time, and I instantly say, oh, I hate it. Trying to just keep my mouth shut and say thank you, or, trying not to think negative. But yeah, I've always had difficulty with that. Judge everything you think, say, or do harshly as it's never good enough. Yes. If I have a conversation with somebody and I feel like it didn't go well, for days that conversation will be in my head, and I will just focus on the words that I said and how wrong it might have been and how those words may have hurt somebody and how I could have said things differently. I can't stop. I will blame myself for whatever reaction that they had. It's awful. Perfectionist? Yeah, I'm an all or nothing. So I don't ask others to meet your needs or desires. I have a hard time asking anybody to do things like, could you do the dishes for me? Could you take out the trash? I mean, we do have my grandson or my daughter will take out the trash, and I'll put it near the door, and I'll say something on their way out. But if it's sitting in the trash can, most of the time I won't say anything. Oh, hold on one moment. I need to pause. So I don't remember where I was, but I'm back. I think I was on asking others to meet your needs or desires. Yes, I have a hard time asking anybody to do something, so I won't ask them to literally take out the trash bag unless I have it near the door. Then I might ask as they're leaving if they could take it. Do not perceive yourself as lovable and worthwhile. Yes, that's definitely me. I had a hard time for a long time believing that God would actually love me. I could not understand why. So yes, I think that's what I'm going to focus on. Somebody suggested some books, so I might go and look for them. It's just so interesting that that's not what I perceive codependency to be. So yes, I am going to be working on that. And I really feel like this time around is going to be so different. This weight loss journey is going to be so different from the others because I've only focused on one aspect of the journey, and that was food or exercise, not mental health, not spiritual, none of that. So this is definitely going to be very different, and I'm glad that I'm adding Celebrate Recovery into my week, into my routine. So that was Monday. And a friend of mine, I still think of Monday as a bad day. Like, I pretty much equate it to Friday. But I was talking to a friend of mine and updating her on the week, and she said, Linda, so did you binge on Monday? No. I think I ate 2 of my weeklies on Monday. I thought I did pretty good. I didn't touch any of those pastries. And she said, Linda, that's a win. And it is. And I didn't think about that. But that's typical of me. So I only think of the negative stuff. But yes, it is a win. I did not binge that day. I was on track with my food the entire time. And I'm shaking the table and the camera's shaking. So yeah, I need to really focus on the positive stuff through this journey. I don't remember what Wednesday consisted of, or Tuesday for that matter. I mean, it was just continuing on with the busy aspects of my week. My son got a job, so I had to add more driving to my day. And I was trying to remind myself that it was fine. I was going to be fine. And I know that's also part of the codependency thing. But I do like helping people when they need help. And I do want to help my son until he can get on his feet a bit. But I have to remember that I also need to make myself a priority. So we're working on that. Thursday was our Weight Watchers meeting. And when we went in, we had to cancel our day because we all had certain things going on. So we usually spend the day together, me and my friends, Terry and Joe. And we had to cancel all of that for the day, but we were still going to the meeting. We were still meeting up, going to the meeting, and I was asked how I think I did. And I was just like, oh, it's not going to be good. I remember looking at the scale before I got dressed that morning and thinking, I don't even want to know at this point. I was not looking forward to weighing in. And we all lost weight. All of us, all 3 of us, got charms that day. I lost 5 pounds, making a total of 27.8. Oh yeah, that was amazing. It just reminded me about the encouragement I have in these ladies. It's really, really wonderful. And it just also reminds me that this is going to be different. This is going to be a completely different journey. I'm not doing this by myself. I have got friends by my side. We are encouraging each other every day. We're sharing what we're eating, and we're asking advice and getting encouragement from each other, support on bad days, which I feel bad because if you don't know me, I probably won't say much unless you talk to me first. But if you know me and I'm having a bad day or things are going on, I'm going to share. And I feel bad because if you're the person that wants to fix it and give me advice, you might get very sick and tired of me. I think when I do share like that, I'm more looking for just somebody to talk to, somebody to listen. I understand that other people don't understand what I'm going through. Not everybody anyways. And that's okay. I don't expect them to understand what I'm going through. Sometimes it's just listening. I used to have a blog where I would just write and vent, or write the good things, the bad things. I would share everything about my life on there. I don't do that anymore. I don't have time to sit and type everything out. I prefer to voice it now. And not only that, I don't want to share too much about my kids anymore. They're grown now. Anna says that she doesn't mind, but I think she would if I started doing it a lot. It just doesn't seem right. So it was different when they were 6, 7, 8, or especially Anna. David was older by then, so I wasn't sharing that much about him. But Anna loved being on that blog. She still loves it. We look back at those things all the time. So, so when I'm sharing and venting, I feel like it can be overwhelming for the other person. And I think it makes it hard for them. I've lost a friend for a while over it. We're friends now, but there was for a short while where she could not deal with my problem. And I think it's because she's very similar to me in that, what was that one? Let's see if I can find it. Very sensitive to how others are feeling and feel the same. And if I shared with her my hurt or my pain, she took it on as her own burden. And it was too much for her. But it wasn't for hers to bear. It's mine to bear. But I appreciate anyone who just listens and gives me a hug when I need it, or kind words of encouragement. And I try really hard not to go overboard. Thankfully, I've got a few friends that don't seem to mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah. Oh, so the group. So yeah, the ladies, I feel like we were like a triple threat going into that room. Just, we had one thing on our mind and we were going to get it done. And it felt really great. After that, we all kind of separated, and my husband and I went to Chili's, and I did well. I wanted a Southwestern egg roll. So he got Southwestern egg rolls and he got 5 pickles. And I just got a cup of Southwest chicken soup. And it was kind of funny because as the waitress was taking down my order, she kind of waited for me to say more. All I said was I wanted a cup of soup. And she was like, and I was like, no, that's it. She was, that completes your order? Yes. So that was kind of interesting to me. And then Angel also ordered the appetizers. I always let him do the ordering for that. So I had 1 complete egg roll. I just had 2 halves. And then I did eat 2 5 pickles, which seemed to be roughly 1 to 1.5 points. So I did 3 total for that. And I had my soup, which was 3 points. So that was it. And I was happy and satisfied, and all was good. And Angel finished everything up. Angel's my husband, by the way. So he just finished everything up. So yes, yesterday was a great day. I felt positive all day. Today, it's just going the way it should. Had a nice long talk with my sister, and just a little overwhelmed right now. I've got a cold. It's allergy season for us, so there's that. So, but yeah, very good news on the weight loss. I cannot believe I am down to 288 point. I wrote it down. When I write it down, 288.4, and that's from 316 point. What did I say? 27.8. Yeah, I'm not gonna even attempt that right now. Not right now. But yes, so that was my week, and I'm not sharing pictures of food or anything this week. We were kind of on a budget, so I was just working with what we had, and I had asparagus and pork chops. I didn't eat the rice whenever it was offered. I made a chicken stew yesterday, and amazingly, that was like 2 points, and the point was in the broth and the flour that I added in. I could have added in something else besides flour, but I was rushing out the door. I had like 10 minutes. I just got home, had to make a slurry for that, and then run out the door again. But the rest was the boneless chicken breast. That's 0 points. Carrots and potatoes are 0 points for me. The broth was, I don't know, I calculated it as the whole stew being like for 7 people. And I've got a lot left over. And that was amazing. And that's going to be very filling. So I'll have to eat some leftovers this week. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can make if you really think about it that are going to be low point. I have information about the retreat. I have not been doing a floss tube video. I skipped last week because I don't stitch that much right now, and I don't want to just share you a little bit of progress if I've only stitched maybe 30 minutes all week. So I did not do a video. I do plan on doing a video this week because I've got some really good news, and I am so excited. I've never done this before. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to do it. We're all in the planning stages and probably buying a little too much stuff, but I'm so excited. So yeah, the floss tube might be once every 2 weeks. We will see. Unless I suddenly get stitching time, we will see. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Oh yes, let's share that. Let's share what that looks like. I thought that there wasn't another charm for a while because I know years ago I think it stopped at like 25. But this one's green. But I did some research, and apparently there is a 30-pound charm. If it's still available, I don't know. So I'm kind of looking excited for that. I also kind of set a goal for myself. I set a goal for, I might as well tell you, I'm going on the retreat. I'm going on a cross-stitching retreat, and I cannot wait. So I set a goal for it. Hold on 1 minute. Oops. Okay. So I set a goal to lose roughly 60 pounds in the next 9 months. I'm not sure if that's possible, but then someone was telling me that I should probably, instead of thinking that in weekly terms, think of that in monthly terms. So I think my goal is going to be 6 pounds a month just to see what happens. But I need to be careful because I know that I can derail myself if I don't make it. It will be fine. I need to tell myself that. But I also kind of need something exciting to look forward to. And I think that that would be helpful. Just like having a goal to stay focused on. So we will see what happens. If I do accomplish that, that means I could get down to 230. And I don't know how I would feel at 230. I just imagine that I would be able to walk so much better and do more things and not be so out of breath. I mean, that sounds really good to me. I think I married my husband at 220. So that would be great. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'd be fine if I get under 250. Because I saw 249 when I was on that very restrictive diet, and I gained that within a year. So I don't want that to happen. I want this to be a permanent thing. I want this to be sustainable. So I need to focus on that too. But I am going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see my previous floss tube, I will post that somewhere up there. I think I'm trying to think now. I think this is where my last week's video, and then this is the playlist. But I could be wrong. It could be switched. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you again next week. Bye.